Good morning again. I am going to do the ellipse with you, and I'm going to show you step by step how to get that ellipse, and then also write next to the side short notes of how to remember it, because most of you guys, you can draw it at that specific moment, you understand it, and then 2 months later you have to write exams about it and you have absolutely no idea how you got to the next step. Okay, they are giving me a width of 120 and a height of 70. So I want to get this rectangle in construction so that I can start getting my ellipse shape. In construction, I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to draw a horizontal construction line. I'm going to measure 120 on that construction line and take both sides 90 degrees down. The height was 70, so from the top I'm going to measure 70 down. And draw a horizontal line. I want to get the center points because I'll need them. So the half of 70 is 35. So from the top or bottom, I'm going to measure my 35. Draw a horizontal construction line. And the half of 120 is 60. So I'm going to measure 60 and draw a 90-degree line down. Okay, there's the construction we need to start our ellipse with. Okay, the first step is to label it correct. Okay, so I'm going to start with A on the left side. Just get another color. Over here, A, B, C, D, and then the center point will be E. The method I'm using, I take reference to the letters, so if I label it wrong, the method will not work. So always make sure that the short side is where you start with A and not the longer width over there. Okay. Our first step will be to connect A to B in construction. So I'm going to put my T-square on the side, put A and B in line, and connect them. So my first step, connect A to B. Second step will be to use radius EA to get F. So I'm going to put my compass on E, measure to A, and draw an arc to the top over there. If your center line is not extended, all you have to do is just extend it a little bit, because you'll need it to be extended to get F at the end of the day. So I'm just going to extend my center line to the top and some at the bottom as well, because I'll need it later on. Where my arc crosses my center line, I'm going to label that point F. My next step, radius BF, and that will give me G. So I'm going to put my compass on B, measure to F, and draw an arc. Where it crosses my previous construction line, I label it G, like that. Now I want to bisect line AG, so bisect AG, and that will give us M1 and M2. So when we bisect a line, you can either use the total length or use more than half of the length. As soon as you go shorter than half of the line length, the two arcs won't meet each other. So I normally tell my kids to make it 3/4 of the length. So now I can see my compass is 3/4 of AG. I draw an arc on the one side in construction, put my compass on A, and do exactly the same. I did not change the length of my compass, I kept it the same. Where the two arcs cross each other, I'm going to put my ruler or triangle in line. So where it crosses at the top and bottom, I make sure they're in line, and I draw a construction line, making sure it crosses the center line at the bottom. Where it crosses the horizontal center line, that will be M1. Where it crosses the vertical center line, that will be M2. Now I'm going to use my compass to get M2 or M3 and M4. So to get M3, I'm going to say radius E M1. That will give me M3. And to get M4, I'm going to say radius E M2. And that will give me M4. So what I mean with that, from radius E to M1 over there, I'm going to draw a half arc to the opposite side, and I will label that M3. I'm going to put my compass on E again, measure to M2, draw half an arc to the top, and where they cross over here, they are quite close together, I'm going to label that M4. Now I always tell my kids, now I have to get my diamond shape. If you don't have a diamond shape, you made a mistake somewhere. So I'm going to connect M1 with M2 with M3 with M4. So connect M1, M2, M3 and M4. So M1 and M2 already connected, M2 to M3, and try your best to extend it already so that you don't have to do it later on. M3 to M4, extend this one as well because you need it, and then M4 to M1, and once again extend it. Okay, there's your diamond shape. We need that diamond shape to get the width of our ellipse. Okay, let me just change the color to draw it with the compass. Okay, to get your first arc, you are going to put your compass on M1. So to get your arc, you are going to do radius M1 to A, second arc radius M3 to C, third arc radius M2 to B, and the fourth arc radius M4 to D. Okay, M1 to A, So I put my compass on M1. Oopsie. Measure it to A. Like that. And very important, do not cross your construction lines. Like that. I do the same on the right hand side, M3 to C. Put my compass at M3. Measure to C. Like that. And stay inside of my construction. Like that. To get my top arc, I'm going to measure from M2 all the way to B. So there we go. And then before you draw it, make sure it fits on both sides with your previous arc so that there's a smooth transition and that it looks like this shape was drawn all at once. As so. Do not cross the other two arcs because we will deduct marks for that. We really do want to see a smooth transition between the arcs. So to get that bottom arc, we move from M4 to D. We make sure it fits. On both sides. If it doesn't, remember we cheated a little bit. Just move your compass a little bit so it fits both sides. And then you draw your arc. Okay, another important thing to remember, your ellipse are not allowed to exceed your rectangle that you've drawn first, and it's also not supposed to have a gap between the rectangle and the ellipse. They are supposed to touch all four sides. So that's all the steps you need to know for your ellipse.